Property number 4, multiplicative identity. According to the multiplicative identity, if a belongs to real number, then there exists a number 1 belong to real number such that a times 1 equals to 1 times a equals to a, which is also a real number. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity. If you remember last time, for the additive identity we had 0 because we were adding 0 to the a on both sides. So when you add 0 to a, like a plus 0 and 0 plus a, it ultimately equals to a, because 0 plus a equals to a and a plus 0 equals to a. A belongs to a real number. But this time we have multiplicative identity. In multiplicative identity we need a number. We need a number which is also a real number, but in such a form that when you take its product on either side, it won't affect a. Like a times 1 equals to 1 times a. A times 1 is a, 1 times a is a, it equals to a. What is a? A belongs to real numbers. So this one is called the multiplicative identity. It doesn't affect a. As we heard last time, 0. When we added 0 to the a, it didn't affect a. The same thing we are doing with the multiplicative identity. For the multiplicative identity we have 1. When you take its product with the a, it won't affect a. Ultimately it equals to the same a, which belongs to real numbers. 1 is the multiplicative identity. Let me give you a proof. If a equals to 8, what is 8? 8 belongs to real numbers. Then there exists a number 1 which belongs to real number such that 8 times 1 equals to 1 times 8 equals to 8, which belongs to real numbers. So this one is called the multiplicative identity. If I plug in a equals to 8 here, what is 8? 8 belongs to a real number. 8 is any random value for the a. There exists a number 1 which belongs to a real number as well. If we take its product on both sides, like 8 times 1 equals to 1 times 8, it ultimately equals to 8 because 8 times 1 is 8, 1 times 8 is 8. So finally it equals to 8. What is 8? 8 belongs to real numbers. Therefore this one is called the multiplicative identity. 1 is the only number, only real number which does not affect 8. When you take its product, you will get the same value of a. That's why 1 is the only multiplicative identity.